and today I'm going to be talking about Connect United. And to start, I just want to share a little bit about me and my story and how I got here. So I am a registered nurse of 39 years. I have three amazing adult children now. I raised them by myself since 2003. And like I said, I was a nurse, but that was not giving me enough money to raise my three kids back then. So over time, during that period, I stepped into entrepreneurship. Two reasons. One was I needed some more funds for my kids, and also because I wasn't agreeing what was happening in the healthcare system. It just wasn't resonating with me, and it was really frustrating. So moving out of that space was a blessing to me, and I've learned about business and really helping people with their a solution for the problems that they had. A lot of that was MLM that I was in back then, and it served a purpose. It was great. And then 2 years ago, I reached out to a friend of mine who I grew up with. I've known him since I was a very, very little girl, and we were in a company together also. And we talk, and I reached out to see what he was doing. And he said, "Lise, have you ever heard of blockchain technology?" And I said, "What are you saying to me? Like, what is that?" And he started talking to me about this platform that we're on now. That wasn't in existence back then. It was just a forward-looking statement that we're going to be talking about. And he said, imagine being the owner of Zoom, and imagine, just what it would be like to have a video conferencing platform that's private, nobody can hack. And he was talking about Zoom bombing. And then he started talking about, he mentioned the word decentralization. I picked up sovereignty. That was the word I picked up listening to what he was saying. And he was talking about these other projects like Grow, where you can get organic food, and banking and all these things. And I really was clueless. Like, I was lost in the sauce, what he was saying to me. But what I did here is that how blockchain technology can create that sovereignty, that freedom that I've always had a pull towards, owning my own stuff, not being tracked, doing my own thing, and, financially benefiting from that. So that was it. I bought my first node. I really didn't understand what it was. I learned as I went, and we're in a great, platform here, which I'll explain to teach you. And that's what it was. And that's history. So here I am now, and I'm going to be talking about Connect. So I am going to share my screen with everybody and start the presentation. Okay, hold on. Okay, perfect. Kim, are we good with that?
We are.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay, everybody, please remember to stay muted. Okay, thank you. So we're talking about connecting or reconnecting humanity through AI and blockchain technology. Okay, and these are just disclaimers. Feel free to take a picture. It's for it's educational purposes only. And here is a summary of those disclaimers. Okay, this presentation may contain forward-looking statements. No earning claims or financial advice are being provided. Digital rewards are for utility purposes only. Always do your own research, DYOR. And I like emphasizing this because, like I was saying, I didn't understand what my friend was saying to me. My mom didn't understand it, but my heart resonated with it. And when I did mention it to a couple of people, they thought that I was lost. Like, what are you saying? What is this? It's not real things. So I trusted my own instincts. I did my own research, and I didn't rely on what people believe that I should believe. Okay, and then the information provided is for educational purposes only. Nodes and blockchains are governed by the Distributed Governance Framework, the DGF. Nodes are what connects to what we're going to be talking about, the blockchain, and the DGF is a way of saying a framework, rules that are governed by the community, which is us. This is a community. Okay, so Connect. It's a community-owned platform powered by blockchain and AI, where participation is rewarded and value flows back to the people. And in other industries right now, Okay, it's about extraction, right? We are benefiting from the tools and services, but the value flows to the company, the corporation, big tech. Okay, so the world feels broken. A lot of people are starting to realize that the systems that are meant to help us are really controlling us, right? And we're feeling it in our finances, our health, our future, just everything that we're doing. And our systems are broken. And what we have here is a way with participation to take ownership of these systems and have the revenue flow back to us. Okay, so the system is broken. In energy, we pay more while the planet breaks down. In food, we're fed chemicals instead of nourishment. In healthcare, we treat symptoms and not the root causes. In finance, the few hold the power while the many are left behind. And now the next revolution is hijacked too, and that is AI. AI is all over, guys, right? AI has grown faster than the internet and is growing very, very quickly, right? And big tech wants to own it. 1 million for, say, ChatGPT, 1 million users in 5 days, 100 million in 2 months. OpenAI, Google, and Meta are racing to control the error. And you have Facebook, and you have Amazon, and you have Google and Apple here, right? So these are all owned, right? And if you buy other people, and we are the product of these, right? If things are free, like we have Google, if we have a free account or other things, we are the product of that, right? Nothing is free, right? We have Facebook. If there was no people using the platform of Facebook, right? Zuckerberg, right? And whoever else would not be making any money from us. We are the data. We are the product of that. Apple, right? If we weren't using our phones and we're, a cell phone network, if we didn't have that, if the people create the value of that, there wouldn't be anything, right? So here's the problem with all of that I just mentioned. They listen, they learn, and they profit, right? So, when you look something up on the internet, you're getting a sponsored ad on your social media, on your Instagram or your Facebook, or you're getting text messages about it, right? They're listening to everything. They ask if you want to be tracked on every app that you open, right? It's all about extraction. They're learning, right? They're building, Chat GPT. Here's an example. Okay, we have something we're going to be talking about called Blockbot. Blockbot is an AI, and it's getting to the decentralization part of it where we own a decentralized AI. And right now, here's an example. I said something to Chat GPT, right? I said something about, I asked a question in Chat GPT, and then I got an email, and it's not coincidence, guys. I got an email exactly what I was talking about in my chat, right? So they're out there and they're listening to everything. And they're profiting, like I said, and we get nothing until now, right? And let's talk about where we've been in order to talk about, where we're going. So the internet has evolved, right? We had Web 1 e-commerce, read-only internet, static websites, big corporations own the content. Web 2 is where we have, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Web 3 is where crypto and blockchain came in, and crypto was introduced ownership, but it wasn't simple. There was nothing simple about it, and still there's people that are heavy into AI and heavy into blockchain, and it's not simple. And they hear what we have going on here, and it's amazing to them because we are the missing link of something greater than that they're searching for, and we've had this 15 or 16 years in the past, right? So we have something so great here, guys, that I'm going to be talking about that keeps evolving and growing, and more people are getting more intrigued and interested in what we have. Okay, so now it's time for what comes next. Okay, so here's an article from June 2024. Crypto and AI could be a $20 trillion megatrend, right? That's a warning shot. It's true. It's happening. You guys know it, right? AI is driving the intelligence. Blockchain is securing the value, ownership, and trust. But it's still not simple out there, in the world to the masses. Okay, so here's an article too from the World Economic Forum, all right, that blockchain could disrupt $867 trillion in traditional markets. And again, we're going to be talking about, we are about disrupting the traditional markets here, the systems that are broken in different verticals or different industries. So this article is here. Right now it's quadrillions, but we've already been doing this. We've already been doing this. So we are in an amazing place right here. Okay, so let's talk about Web 4. Okay, so Web 4 is an emotional shift. It's a paradigm shift that I'm talking about, and we have it. It's an AI that works for you, right? It doesn't spy on you. It works for you. It works with participation. It just does a lot. It's your AI buddy, right? Blockchain that protects and rewards you. Okay, what everything out there, say ChatGPT and Grok, right? It's extraction. Everything is extraction. This is rewarding you. Okay, value flows to you, to us, not big tech, not to the platforms. Your digital life is automated, connected, and owned. You don't scroll Web 4, you live inside it. Okay, and it feels different because it is. It helps you before you even ask. Your actions earn real rewards. Your digital life finally feels simple, seamless, and secure. Your data belongs to you, not corporations. Your tools, schedules, and finances all work together. So this is something that we own, that works with us, and it is a container for all these other things that we're going to be talking about. So to have ownership in this is a big deal, right? Imagine owning ChatGPT or Grok, or owning Amazon, or owning the internet, right? I know that sounds very forward-thinking looking statement for, to some people, but this is what's happening here. It's surreal to me, and it's amazing. Okay, you're not just a user anymore, you are in control. Okay, so it's projected. No, I don't have to do this. You can read this slide. Okay, in 2015, before the world was even talking about AI and blockchain, we began patenting technology for an AI robot powered by blockchain. Before the hype, before ChatGPT, before crypto went mainstream, because we believe the future wouldn't be built by big tech, it would be owned by the people. So that's what I was saying in 2015, right? And the ideas started before that, right? And we've been working on it, and it's developing, and it's growing, and it's here, and it's real. Okay, so 10 years later, okay, well, it's a little bit more now. The intelligent Web 4 gateway is here. Meet Blockbot, right? This is my buddy, Blockbot, your AI companion making blockchain easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you this 1-minute video, which is the potential of what Blockbot is going to do. As I said, it is a container for other AIs. It's a little hard to perceive because it is a forward-looking statement, and it's never been done before, but we have this, it's already in the works, and there is part of this that is almost ready to be released. So this is Blockbot in the center of your universe. So I'm going to play this video. Enjoy. Okay, awesome. Okay, so with this video, this is just one example of how BlockBot can be in the center of connecting different industries together. So to connect everything together, you can see these lines in the middle. These are some of the industries we're going to go through that we have. We have 11 that are active right now, but we're growing. We're growing. This is only a few of them, guys. Just imagine everything else, all the systems that we are in the world that is here with Connect, and it's all connected by BlockBot. So in that example, the girl wanted to lose weight. So this is about ownership, right? Owning your health data. Okay, so we have a project called Galvin. So it's decentralized health. So you can plug in your health data, and instead of saying you go get this pill for this ailment, it's going to go through your body type, it's going to go through what's going on, and it's going to make recommendations, and you own it. Everything is right there that you own and private. And then that's going to connect you to the Grow. So Grow is our agriculture. So it's recommending good food and good nutrition. Right. So from that made recommendations, and that goes to the Switch, which is our decentralized banking platform. And that's going to, release money, of course, with permission to get those nutritional things that Grow recommended, and call in our transportation, which is Revo, to deliver it right to you. So that's just one example of what BlockBot's going to do. Right. And it's huge. It's big, and sometimes it's difficult because I know in my head I can see it and I can feel what it is to verbalize it, but it's very, very exciting. Okay, let me go through here. Hold on. Okay, so the BlockBot isn't a gadget. It's how we connect to the next internet. It's not just a tool, it's a system. It's your AI assistant, your blockchain rewards engine, and your interface to Web 4. Okay, so again, to see where we're going, we have to see where we've been. So the internet gave us AOL, right? AOL, this big floppy disk and this big gawky computer made funny noises, right? That was the first computer, right? We've never had that, and now we had a computer. Okay, and then mobile, we had a beeper, we had a brick phone, and now we have Android and Apple and all the other things, right? So that was a forward-looking statement back then, and now look where it is. And then AI gave us ChatGPT, right? So that's a big thing, and that's taking over, and it's growing and growing. Every tech, I can't say that word today. Well, every shift has a gateway, right? As you can see. And now that gateway is called BlockBot. Okay, so it's your personal AI connected to the blockchain, working 24/7 for you. Okay, it learns from you, it earns from the system. The more participation, the more rewards, and it connects your tools, your data, your value, rewards for real world action. And it's already live. Okay, so the BlockBot and the Win plus the Win blockchain equals proof of action. For every action, it's recorded on chain. So nothing is lost. Everything is, smart contracts, everything is on chain. That's what we say. That's a cool word of saying on blockchain, on chain, right? So everything is recorded. Nothing is ever lost. The more consistent your activity, the higher your rewards. Let's just take that for a second. Rewards. Okay, so just say you are a frequent flyer on American Airlines, right? You're going to use your American airline reward card in the gas, to get gas, to the groceries, right? Because the more you use it, the more you're participating with it, you're using it, you're getting rewards back, right? And that can be for flights, upgrades, things like that. So that's the reward system. You're not getting paid for hype, you're getting rewarded for what you actually do. We have real products. This R-Link that we're on as an example creates real revenue, right? Because we have products and services here that creates the revenue, and I'll get into that, how that works through BlockBot, and it creates a real world impact, right? So this R-Link, I mean, wouldn't you be wanting to own this platform, right? Instead of Zoom, knowing that they're spying and stealing your data and somebody else owns it and it's very complicated to use, right? And say you had some a call you needed to do with private data, from an accountant or a doctor or something, right? It's now open to the world when you're using those platforms. It's private here. Okay, so most platforms extract. That's what we were saying, right? Mostly all the apps on our phone, we have to pay a monthly subscription, right? We don't get it, we get to use it, right? We're renting space in the world and a lot of things that we're doing, but we don't own it. Okay, so here it's giving us ownership. Okay, so most platforms extract value. Blockbot redistributes it back to the people. Ownership is shared and the governance is distributed. And the governance, going back to the DGF, means that this is all community owned and it's a DAO and there's no shareholders, there's no investors. The community, all of us, have a vote in everything that happens here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. This is a community-owned loop, and these are just some of the projects, or you can say little businesses or verticals, industries that we've disrupted so far, right? It's amazing. So the agriculture is our grow, nourishing people and animals on the planet. There's a store called Nourishmart. You can take your rewards from here, and you can go to the Nourishmart and you can buy your meat and your honey and different things they have there, and they're adding more and more on there all the time. Energy, right? And that's giving trust back to the farmers, right? Energy, right? We are disrupting energy. We tokenize energy, own part of the largest public global decentralized power grid in the world, help set power free. And there's a lot of people on this call that have paid their power bill using PowerPay through this green, right? I do, right? Imagine, using your green rewards to pay your electric bill. So for me, instead of taking money out of my pocket every month to pay FP&L, another big company, right? I'm paying it with my green tokens, and then they're giving me rewards and they're giving me more back. So every month I save that money in my pocket. What can you use for that extra money? You can go out to dinner, you can buy yourself something, right? Whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's about ownership and being in this system. And this is a word that our attorney, John Mattson, coined, was decosystem. Decosystem instead of ecosystem, decentralized ecosystem. It's kind of a cool word. Okay, banking. We bridge and guide between the worlds of finance, oh my gosh, I can't speak today, traditional finance and DeFi. Okay, so this is a way where you can take your rewards, your tokens, swap them, sell them, put it to the bank. And this is Switch. And Kathy Roberts, who's a dear friend of mine, she is the CEO and founder of Discover Card and Discover Bank, and the one who actually coined the term rewards back in the day. She's heading this up because these old rails of all these systems are old. They're outdated. They're not working anymore, right? We can all agree they are not working anymore. So she came over here into this ecosystem with her Switch, and they're coming out. They're actually out, and it's in beta. People are using it, or it's an alpha. People are using it right now. It's a credit card that converts crypto to fiat and fiat to crypto. So they're working out the kinks with that, and then that's going to be opened, for the community or the world to buy. Okay, health and wellness. We talked a little bit about that in the video. That's Galvin. Okay, so take ownership of your health and wellness through blockchain. Imagine getting rewarded for going to the gym, for going to the chiropractor, for going to the sauna, for getting a massage, for taking healthy nutritional products. They're even going to be rewarding people to go to the doctor and get their prescriptions that they need, if they're still in that world. So this is giving back for healthy actions, and you get rewarded for it. Social impact. We have the world's first community-owned social impact platform. Okay, instead of social media, it's social impact. Video conferencing, we talked about R-Link, and there's another product from the Rally blockchain is Opperly. Opperly is an AI assistant that is revolutionizing that industry. It's phenomenal. It does a lot. It's an amazing tool to use. It organizes your emails. It organizes your life. Also, there's going to be an app. It's out there now, but they're, just finalizing all the things on it, called Pixa. So imagine being the owner, right, with the Rally blockchain. And I'll talk about ownership in a minute again. It's called Pixa. So instead of using TikTok for a social selling app, you have Pixa that's in our community. Let's see, we have charity, that's Give, right? We've rescued women and children, a lot. We've rescued a lot of women and children from trafficking, built orphanages, gave clothes and shelter back, fed third world countries. And there's even something like GoFundMe where 100% would go to the family in need instead of like GoFundMe skimming the top, because it's a company. And also, like the one on the bottom is Element mining. There's kids down in those mines that they're doing really unethical things to, like sucking mercury out of these things. So we get our lithium from our phones and things to power the gas cars and the diamonds and all of that. So it's about supporting that and, having gold and silver ethically mined, and being able to purchase that. Okay, so I want to explain too, because people ask how the revenue flows to the community. So when a product or service is purchased, the smart flow system, it sends that revenue back into the market, and then it buys the tokens, and the Win blockchain validates it. And then those tokens are distributed back to the block bots. So the more block bots, the merrier. Okay. Remember, it's about ownership. The revenue flows back to the users and not big tech, and that's us. And so there's no middleman, there's no delay. It's just real world revenue flowing back to you. Okay, so what you get with the Blockbot is a fully hosted Win Action Smart Node, and it's $2,500. And my Blockbots have absolutely paid for themselves over and over again. And knowing, even though it's still a forward-looking statement because it's not all in existence yet, but looking at, the vision of where this is going worldwide, not even through Connect, I could be speculating on that, but it's big, and I want to own my Blockbots. Connect to earn. Okay, so these are daily on-chain rewards that you get. Learn to earn, which is huge. This is so big. Okay, because this is a very simple system. As I said, a lot of the masses of people out there in the blockchain, crypto, AI space, it's complicated. It's very fragmented. This puts ease into everything. It's plug and go. You buy your Blockbot, you set up the account, host it, and you start to get rewarded. And this Learn to Earn teaches you all that. The Learn to Earn is a weekly lesson. It goes Thursday to Thursday. 52 lesson NFTs. NFT is something that you can put on top of this Blockbot to produce more rewards. And that's a $5,200 value in itself. And the Learn to Earn teaches you what is an ecosystem like this, what is a wallet, what is decentralization, what is on-ramp, off-ramp, what are different types of crypto, all these things that the world is starting to wake up to. You learn it here, and it's a very quick, easy lesson, and there's a call that they do every Thursday on it too, and you get paid for it. So this is a very loving and giving community. It's about giving back and assisting people to become bankable. Like the give to earn, you can give somebody 1,000 rewards or whatever you want and help people create, money right in here. Share to earn. Okay, you get commissions or confirmation. I don't like the word commission, confirmation rewards for proof of action, right? So just for me telling my accountant, hey, I don't want to, talk about my private stuff over Zoom. I'd rather do it here, right? Or with the Operaly, somebody who we talked about, the executive assistant who's like unorganized, their emails are piling up, they have tons of, their subscriptions and they can't figure out what's what. It's like, here, try this Operaly, right? Or the banking system or the food, all these things, we share things all the time, right? So why not do something that's going to reward you and is betterment for humanity? Because when I, was talking to my friends, I thought about, yes, I know him and I, from business and, as a friend also, but I was thinking, okay, there's some money, and the money here, it's wonderful. And that's just my opinion, but it's the mission. It's the mission of what this is doing and creating a better world for us to live in, where we can all profit and feel free and have ownership and not rely on the control of these companies to shut this down or turn this off if we don't pay or do things, right? So it's a bigger mission here. I know I jumped around a little bit, but sometimes I get really passionate. And you have the Blockbot and AI operating system, right? Again, I told you the story with ChatGPT and how I got an email. So this is going to be yours, where we own. It's decentralized. We own it. It grows with you, and the world uses it too, and we have ownership of it. Okay, so it's real savings, real life, powered by Blockbot, applied to everyday costs. So together we're replacing corporations with community, right? And a lot of some people on this call may be thinking, it's hard to, it's some cognitive dissonance here with this, because this has never been done. We're doing it. We have been doing it, and it's going to continue to grow, but it's never been done before. So that's why it's exciting. And you own your AI and your data. You receive value for participation. You're part of a global movement built on impact, not extraction. Blockbots connects you to the system already operating at a global scale. We're in every country. 560 billion rewards plus have been distributed. 1 trillion plus transactions, and it's always on. We always have access to this. It never shuts down. No 9 to 5 here. Okay, so this is a timing window where we are now. We're still early with everything that we're doing. The products and services are now starting to really take hold and move out into the world, but we're still early. We're at the innovators. We're the early adopters. Just like everything, it's better to be early, right? You don't want to be late to a movie. You don't want to be, late for a concert or, anything. You don't want to be late, paying this bill or whatever it is, right? It's always better to be early. It's the same thing here. You get better, you get rewarded more for being early, just like everything in life, right? And then 2026, where we are now, to 2029, we can start to see this acceleration happening. I know you can. The world is starting to wake up to AI and blockchain. They are. Well, they've already woken up to AI, right? But to blockchain, a little bit more about crypto, right? But it's the change. People are realizing that a change needs to happen. And we're in that acceleration phase. Our products and services are now out. There are major influencers and entrepreneurs who are taking this to their networks of people, because it's the real deal. So the word is getting out, and that's what we want to happen. That's when I was talking share to learn. We want that to happen, because then the node, which is attached to the blockchain, produces the tokens, right? So ownership is having the node. So it produces the tokens, and when that goes out, the buying and selling, that comes back to us also. Okay, so then in 2029, 2030, they're projected it's going mainstream, but the way things are going now, it's already getting mainstream. So we're in a good position right now. So this I want to talk about. This is exciting. This is, I call it a flywheel. These are just some of the projects. Again, 11 are active. Some are here, but they're not in fruition yet. And I want to talk about Gala. Gala is huge. And I want to talk about a venture world. Gala, I don't know if you guys know Gala Games. That was a very big it's a very big token that was out on all the exchanges, and it was producing the product that we were talking about, Farmville. Who remembers Farmville, the video game? Okay, so Farmville was a video game that was created here in this community. And the reason they did that, just like all these other things is about giving. Okay. And I know this firsthand. Gaming is expensive. My two boys were addicted to gaming, and it cost them a lot to lose their things in the game, and they have to start over. The game would break, or the controllers would break, and everything would go downhill. It cost me a lot of money to keep funding this for them. And, it was frustrating. So a group of people got together and they said, well, what about if we decentralize gaming? What if we can reward people for playing the games instead of extracting, like we talked about? What if we reward them for participation? So that's what Farmville is doing. So it rewarded the players. And then the people who owned the nodes, the ownership aspect, would get rewarded as well. So that token, or the reward token in the open marketplace, when that hit 87 cents, just only 87 cents, guys, the people that own those nodes made thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions to hundreds of millions to billions of dollars, right? No crystal ball here, but what if? What if? Because this community is about giving back. And the next game that's here, it's live right now. The game isn't live, but it's on a blockchain called Adventure World. So that is going to be even an upscale of Farmville. There's a few games in this mix that will be coming out, but it's to reward people for playing the game. You can put it on any platform. It's going to be free. And just imagine, all right, we were talking about, giving back. What if somebody in a third world country played this Adventure World game, right? They're getting rewarded. It automatically helps you connect to a wallet, very easy self-explanation with that. And then what if, they get rewarded, which they will, not what if, they're going to get rewarded for playing this game. They can actually become, I'm quoting with my fingers, bankable. They can take that money and they can buy food. The mom could buy a sewing machine, right? They can have some shelter. Imagine that. Okay, so this is what Connect is about. It's about giving back and assisting people in everyday life. So I just think that's such a beautiful thing. I love Adventure World. It's one of the newer projects we have. So I went through all these other things right here. Okay, so it's your decision. You can keep renting and paying, or start owning and earning rewards right away. So there's different paths that you can come in with. Okay, so I talked about the block bot. Maybe not everybody has that $2,500. Okay, so right now, but there's a way to earn that. And the droid is $250. And again, this is helping people become bankable. Remember, we're in every country, right? To help them. If somebody comes in with a $250 droid, you're going to get rewarded in, each of the projects a little bit, but you're going to have some, money coming in. And it's nice for people to see that, rewards coming in with that. And then there's a way to earn that block bot, right? By just having that $250 coming in, there's a way for that person to own a block bot. They would be part of the ecosystem and get rewarded. And you never know what's going to happen with that. I've had people come in with that. People come in with a block bot. They start seeing all the other projects. They buy other nodes. And again, block bot is there, and it helps you create revenue with all the other brands that we have. So it's the center, it's the hub of everything. Okay. Or you can have a customer path. Maybe somebody doesn't even have the $250, right? But maybe they want to, use a video conferencing platform here, right? And get rewarded for using it, right? So they'll have rewards for doing that. So, you can choose your level of participation. Okay, so your invitation is to start today. Get back to the person who invited you. You could always reach out to me. Join the community-owned ecosystem that rewards participation. Just don't use the internet. Own it. Okay, let me go back here to stop share. Okay, let me put my camera on. Okay, awesm. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you again for joining me. And I do this every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Invite your friends and share this video out. I recorded it. So everybody have a wonderful Saturday. Happy weekend. Bye for now.